Here's my question for you. Why is it that Democrats are refusing to honor Charlie Kirk? Does it really cost them that much? Is it that hard? I mean, this is pretty despicable stuff. 58 of them decided they didn't want to vote for a resolution to honor a young man, 31 years old, who was doing nothing but trying to engage in peaceful debate. And yet they don't want to pay their respects. 310 to 58. I mean, you did have 95 Democrats joining, all 215 Republicans in voting yes on the non-binding resolution, but 58 no votes came in, and they were all from Democrats. They were mostly members of the Congressional Black and Hispanic caucuses, and another 38 Democrats voted present, while 22 Democrats did not vote. Let me just tell you, Charlie was a great guy. Charlie deserved to be honored by everyone unanimously. Our country deserves that. I want to show you what Cardinal Dolan out of New York had to say, comparing him to a saint. This is very touching. Listen.
This guy's a modern day St. Paul. He was a missionary. He's an evangelist. He's a hero. He's one, I think, that knew what Jesus meant when he said the truth will set you free. And to do it, now, I understand he was pretty blunt and he was pretty direct. He didn't try to avoid any controversy. He didn't even try to avoid confrontation. The difference is the way, the mode, the style that he did it, always with respect. And not only was that a gracious, kind of virtuous thing to do, it's effective. Because when your opponents see, this guy kind of respects me, we kind of disagree here, but he kind of enjoys me, and he's thanking me for being here, and he's telling me he appreciates the trust I have in him in sharing my views. I thought, this guy can teach us something. I've been spending the last week reading about him.
Yeah, a lot of people have. A lot of people have just discovered him for the first time, or are rediscovering him for the first time. I can tell you, I first came across Charlie, I want to say it was like 10 years ago, because he was on Fox, and at some point we had him on my show. I used to host a 2 o'clock show there, and then by the time I was on the 8 o'clock show, I think we had him booked like once or twice a week, because I just couldn't get enough of Charlie Kirk. I was like, this guy is so good. And I remember saying to my producer, wow, like, this kid is good. Like, he's really good. Too often in this business, you'll have a guest on, and they have their political talking points that they get from their party, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they can only go back to those. Charlie could think about things with such depth in different ways that always caused you to take a step back and say, wow. And so to think that these Democrats are out there trying to trash his memory, like Representative Ilhan Omar out of Minnesota, I mean, wow, she's just awful. She's got that progressive caucus. She decided to get all outspoken, and she said that it's really just effed up that people have described Kirk as just wanting to have a civil debate. Wow. Wow, lady. All right. You are just gross. I mean, your language alone. She's really taken to the swearing thing. You wouldn't have heard that kind of language out of Charlie, mind you. But she loves to swear. And she seems to love to just hate on one side all the time. And she doesn't do it in a respectful way at all. So there's Ilhan Omar, who said some pretty disgusting stuff. And then you have this one. Oh, this is a woman out of Florida. If you can see on the screen, she says, as a black woman, the verbal assault on so many black women coming out of his mouth stunned me. Oh, you know, because maybe he didn't have a lot of respect for Letitia, Tishy Baby James, or Fannie Willis, or, there's a few others I can think of. La Monica, who's facing 17 years in prison. LaMonica MacGyver, we're going to talk about her later, because, 11 New York lawmakers were just arrested a few hours ago in New York City. We got video of it and everything. Wait till you see that. But anyway, she's doubling down on all this race stuff. And she said, how dare he have, cited the Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson as possibly not being qualified. By the way, he didn't need to do that. Sonia Sotomayor, in a recent opinion, just completely whacked Ketanji Brown Jackson, because she's like, this is not how we write things. This is not how you. The Ketanji is all about her feelings instead of the law. And, if you're a Supreme Court justice, you are supposed to talk about the law. Yeah. Anyway, these people are pretty darn sad. Cardinal Dolan said it right. And you know who else said it right? Charlie himself. There was not a racist bone in his body. Listen to him in his own words. Take this on.
I want to ask a question of you. What does it mean to be an American? Is it an idea or a history, a shared history, or is it a skin color?
Well, I mean, you could go back to the original founding fathers, the Immigration Act of, I believe it was.
What does it mean to be an American? Is it a skin color or something else?
So there's the current idea of what it means according to, the Hart-Celler Immigration Act and, all this bullshit that you guys spew. But if you go back to the original founding fathers, they intended this to be a European nation for white men of good stock and character.
So can you show me, let me answer the question. Can you show me where in the United States Constitution it says that?
It wasn't in the Constitution.
It wasn't in the Constitution because they didn't believe it.
The founding...
You, sir, they did not put it in the United States. Let me answer another question. Let me ask you another question since you support. Allow him to have the mic. Let me ask you another question,
founding
sir.
fathers wrote many
What
other
does the
documents
phrase,
other than the United
sir,
States Constitution, and they made it
sir,
explicitly clear that
what
they
does the
believe-
phrase e pluribus unum mean? What
This
does
is
the
good.
phrase e pluribus unum mean?
This is good.
Why is that relevant?
Because it was on every founding
No, the founding
document and
fathers
presidential
wrote
seal
a
from our
litany of
founding,
documents
which means
stating
out
they
of
believe
many,
this country should
one.
be a
You, sir,
European nation.
and your ideology is not conservative. It is right-wing, identitarian. It has no place in the conservative movement, my friend. Get out of line. Get out of line.
Gosh. Wow. He's so good.
USA, USA, USA.
He's
USA,
so good.
USA.
He's so good. I mean, he just took that guy down. He's like, listen, there's nothing racist about our Constitution. It's for everyone, okay? So, Ilhan Omar, gosh darn it, you're lucky. You're lucky I came to this country, right? You'd think you'd see some appreciation. Can go back to, that taking down of the View host, Joy Behar, when Arnold Schwarzenegger told her straight to her face, listen, if you're an immigrant in this country, you got to actually have some manners and some respect and give back to your community in a positive way. But no, Ilhan, she can't even give Charlie this due. What a terrible, in my opinion, terrible, terrible person and a terrible role model. Really. I mean, she's in the minority on this one. When you look at how many Democrats did vote in favor of a resolution for Charlie Kirk, Steve Scalise, who went through an attack himself but made it to the other side, speaking about how terrible this is, the Democrats.
Yeah, let alone the ones that voted present. I mean, what a profile and courage that is. I mean, no reason. It should have been unanimous. At least it surely was on our side. And there were a lot of Democrats that voted yes. The ones that voted no, I mean, open up your heart and just think about Erica and those kids and, the millions of people who are heartbroken over Charlie's loss. And, look, this movement's not going to go away. Charlie started a movement, but this movement's only going to grow. You can see over 50,000 young people have reached out to Turning Point and said they want to start their own Turning Point chapter on colleges or high school campuses. That's a sign that they have woken a sleeping giant.
You bet. You bet. A big sleeping giant. 50,000. Think about that. 50,000 kids are reaching out. I want to start a Turning Point chapter. I'm going to tear up again. I've been crying, okay, ever since last Wednesday. I was crying with you live on the air last Wednesday. I was taking my kids to school yesterday, and I think I told you that song, Don McLean's Miss America Pie, Bye Bye Miss America Pie, and there's that line in there about his widowed bride, and I just started bawling because I'm sad for our country. I'm sad for Charlie. I'm sad for Erica. I'm sad for those beautiful kids, those 2 little kids. I'm sad for all of the young people in America that looked up to him, including my own children. I am sad for the position we are in when you have Democrats, 58 of them, that won't do the right thing. That's wrong, okay? It's been a very, very, very emotional time for all of us. And we got to root out this evil, because this evil exists and it's trying to manipulate and hurt our kids and turn them into people they aren't. All kinds of examples. For goodness sakes, you can't say BC anymore, before Christ. You can't say that because they don't want to recognize Christ in academia as having been sort of a turning point in the world. So, they got BBC or whatever it is, before Common Era, BCC, that's what it is. I mean, I was a history major at Columbia University. My mother was a history major at the University of New Hampshire. I had to call her one day because I'm looking at the kid's paper and I have no idea what this BCC thing is. So I call her, I'm like, you know what this is? I mean, I'm a history major. But that was a lot of years ago, right? That was 25 years ago when I graduated. So this is just something that's kind of sprung up in the last few years, like the last 10 years. The left has totally gone wacko crazy, and now it has to be before Common Era because we can't acknowledge Jesus Christ as having been a monumental force in the world, because that would be prejudice to I don't know, Ilhan Omar or somebody else. I mean, give me a break, okay? This is what they're doing to us, and this is what they're doing to our kids, and this is what Charlie was fighting for, guys. And we need to stand together, and we need to back him up, and we need to honor his legacy and his memory and keep it going for the future of this country.